Polish builder Galeon have built some very cool boats in recent years, but this one behind me here is quite possibly the coolest of them all. This is the new Galeon 560, and it has an absolutely transformative amount of glass in it, as well as some very, very cool ideas. And I'm going to show you every single element of it. My name is Hugo Andreae, you're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and check it out. Couple of quick facts and figures then. So this particular boat, the price starts at about 1.3 million euros ex-tax, but by the time you've got the kit on it, and you do want the kit on it, this particular one comes out at about 2.2 million euros. But you can see that one of the primary features are these fold-down balconies, and they just get bigger and better every time I see them. And this is the finest iteration yet. We'll take a closer look at it in just a sec. But first, let's have a little quick look at what's going on at the stern here. We've got a huge bathing platform. Now this is all hydraulic, and you can see that here we've got steps built into it so that when the platform lowers into the water, that becomes a really nice gradual staircase just dropping down into the sea. Now clearly you can put your tender on here. This is a 500 kilo capacity, so you can get a Williams 430 sport jet on the back of this. This is a neat touch too. They've wrapped, this is artificial teak, I think it's permateak this one, but they've wrapped it right round the end there and given it a lovely soft look that accentuates the size and strength of that platform. And we've got a few nice features going on here. We've got a drop down bench that obviously folds away when it's not in use, but very nice just to have somewhere to sit there, chill out next to the water. We've got access to the crew cabin. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but also some really cool LED lighting. You can probably just see it glowing away in the back there, and these big, almost kind of supercar style vents at the back of it. Now that too is a folding platform that will fold down. There's obviously not room to show that here because we've got another boat alongside, but I'll show that to you in more detail from on board. Steps up into the main cockpit. Got a glass transom gate just providing a bit of security, and then into the main cockpit. Really lovely big seating area here. I like the way they just add a bit of extra detail. So rather than going for a teak table, they've got little molded lines in there. There is so much going on here. Everywhere you look, also nice detailing up here, inset LED lights, huge big opening into the saloon. We'll take a closer look in there in a minute, but first I just want to show you around the decks. But love the way those bifold doors all stack up against there, so you've got this huge, great big opening into the saloon. Right, here is the main event. These are electrically folding these platforms. You can see we've got the buttons here, so the safety one and then up and down, but glass in the actual floor of that too, so you can see a bit of reflection from the water underneath. The other thing, we've actually got gates in them, so even when they're folded up, you've still got gates down through the side deck, and you can see that over on this one. It opens up so you can access through there when you want to get off on a sort of side pontoon or so on. They've got rope stanchions fitted, so it does provide some security around there. They obviously stow away when it's folded up. And look how cool this bar area is. Just getting bigger and better every time. This folds away, of course, when you want to shut it up, but it means you've got a really sturdy, good sized bar area here. Get the two plug-in bar stools. They have to be sort of stowed away in the crew cabin or something when not in use. But what a lovely place to sit and have your drink. Enormous glass windows all the way along, totally transformative on the inside, but just showing you from the outside so you can get a feel for the scale of them. But it's pretty much all the way from the Flybridge down to deck level, all glass. And the other thing they've done is they've introduced this massive flaring of the hull. So you'll see, I don't know if you can get some idea of just how much it flares above the waterline there, but by flaring it above the waterline, they create all this extra beam that comes right the way forward. You can see, rather than a really long, thin, pointy hull, we've got this great big beamy hull stretching all the way out to here, but down at the waterline, it's as narrow as always, so it doesn't affect the way it goes through the waves, but it just creates a vast amount of space up here and down in the VIP cabin, which I'll show you in just a second. But lovely sunbeds out here. We've got adjustable headrest and backrest there. We've got lots of clever little storage bits. Oh no, that's the windlass, of course, for the anchor, which is under these lockers here. But lovely laid back sunbeds with somewhere to prop yourself up if you want to read a book. Also means that you can put them down, and then you can have face-to-face seating here. Nice little secure bench. One piece screen. Look how enormous that piece of glass is. So rather than having a support down the middle of it that just gets in the way of your eye line, you've got a single massive screen. Also interesting to note that under here we've got glass in the deck that is skylights for that VIP cabin in the bow. We can come back down this side and see we've got a sliding skipper's door here. Really handy to be able to come straight out from the helm, have a look down the side if you're coming alongside, etc. Now this just shows you what it looks like when the balcony is folded up. So you've got really lovely high bulwark, makes it feel nice and safe and secure, but also means when you fold it down, it just creates more space. And then back down into the cockpit, and there you can see the winches and all the deck gear still work even when the platform is lifted upright. Right, quick look up at the Flybridge whilst we're on the outside. Really nice, easy steps up to the Flybridge. Another big space. Now, one of the things that I'm really impressed by is that this hardtop is standard. Normally it's a really expensive option on a Flybridge boat of this size, but this one is standard. What you can do is add to it a bit. You can have an optional sunroof built into their fabric sunroof so that you can open it if you want to, but as it is, all standard. Lots of space up here. Very nice little seating area here, so you've got face-to-face seating. You can lounge out next to the helm. The other thing to notice is that these backrests swing over, so you've got forward-facing seating when you're underway, but when you're at anchor, you can put both this one and the other helm station over like this, and then you have quite the most enormous dining area you could possibly wish for. So those two tables join up, and you've got a complete wrap of seating all the way around there. You could have a massive party sitting down, having dinner at that table. But then when you're in driving mode, fold the two tables away, pull those backrests over, and then you've got a really comfortable two-person helm seat on this side and an equally good forward-facing one on this side. Again, flip that over. So now you've got plenty of space for everybody to sit facing forward underway. Fairly straightforward helm station, two good Raymarine screens, Volvo throttles. We'll have a look at the engines and so on in a minute. We've got proportional side thrusters, so they're electric, but it means rather than a simple on-off switch, you can just do little dabs, front and back. You've got bow and stern thruster, so very nice and easy to maneuver too. Then moving back along the Flybridge, we have two separate wet bars. So we've got one on this side and one on this side. This is a fixed top, but just a useful grab rail to have there. We've got an ice maker under there, just storage under there. And over on this side, they've done a rather clever thing actually, again, by making these grab handles here, and they are on locking hatches, so you can't just pull them up. So if you need them for support, you can grab them, but if you want to open them, you just press that button there and then pop it up and it opens up. Got a grill here, sink there, and a big cool box in there. So really well equipped, good size wet bar, and of course we've got a fridge under there and yet more storage in there. And then freestanding furniture at this end, Galeon branded sun loungers, but you can obviously turn those round to face the other way, particularly now that you've got a lovely glass screen in here, so when you are facing out over the back of the boat, you've got a view through there, but still nicely surrounded and well sheltered. Right, let's go and have a look inside. I've already mentioned those bifold doors. It just makes a fabulous opening into the saloon area. So completely unencumbered, feels really nice and open. You can have all kinds of different finishes on here. This has got a pale wooden floor, but you can have carpets or dark floor or teak or whatever you choose to have. Exactly the same with all the woods here, and indeed the surfaces. This has got a kind of avonite, but you can have marble, you can have dark, you can have whatever you want. But look how cool this opening bar is from this side. Just transformational. You're inside at the galley, but a fabulous bar out. all the equipment you need. We've got a chopping board covering the sink there, but a really good sized sink under there. 4-burner induction hob, microwave oven under here. There is a dishwasher tucked away in there. Full height fridge freezer. So we've got a fridge in that section, and then 2 drawers. I think one is a fridge and the one below is a freezer, but really good, lots of space in there. We've got storage all the way around. All of these just pop open. Really big galley though, lovely to have a U-shape as well, so you're supported underway if you want to. Lots of work surface, and then this really cool little zone in here. Now clearly we've got this closed up at the moment. I'll try and show you how that all opens up, but really nice little sociable spot. You can sit there, you're connected with the cockpit there, you can chat to the cook over on this side, but look what happens. Just show you how easy this is. I'm not sure if I can do it one-handed, but I think I can. So that literally just slides over manually. It's a really smooth running action, but feels nice and solid, nice and reliable. And then these seats here, see if I can do that one-handed. There we go. That just folds down. Same with this one here. Hoik that up, fold that down, and then this table here folds over. Oh, I think there's a support that needs to come out. There we go. That support comes out. Table folds over. Balcony folds down, and then you've got a really cool little space. You can sit facing out over the water, drinks on hand, sit and chat to everybody. I mean, that is just so brilliant. Completely open on 3 sides now. So open on that side, open at the back, open on that side. So you're inside, but with a lovely view, lovely breeze. Perfect, both worlds really. Sheltered and closed when you need it, open and breezy when you want to open it up. Main seating area forward. Lots of choices of finishes here, obviously, but rather nice having this sort of inset woodwork on the table. And the great thing is that even when you've got these windows pulled back, because it's glass on both sides, it doesn't actually block any of the view at all. So plenty of natural light in here. Good headroom, I should also point out. Look at me, there's plenty of space above my head here. Lots of good detailing too. We've got sort of Alcantara, we've got built-in speakers. There is a television over on this side. It's a classic high-low television. Just see if I can pop that up. I believe that's a 43-inch television. I won't go all the way, but we've seen them plenty of times before, but they're still very cool. Lovely view through the windows here. Forward to the helm station. There's lots of storage under all of these as well. Everywhere you look, under all the seats. And there's that skipper's door I mentioned from outside, but what a perfect place to sit underway. You've got fresh air coming in here. You've got a view down both sides if you want to check where you're going when you're coming into a berth. There's that massive one-piece windscreen that I mentioned earlier. It's a small thing, but it makes such a difference having an unencumbered view forward through there. Quite a cool sort of floating pod style helm station. Stainless steel wheel, same repeat Volvo controls, trim tabs. Very smart array of analog switches, but a nice sort of mix. I like analog switches for things that you need regularly, easy to access nice and quickly, and then you've got the full glass screen electronics in the screens there. A few nice useful bits of storage under here too. You can't have too much storage in a boat like this, and I'm really impressed that even though it's a very cool looking boat, they haven't ignored the practicalities. And then steps leading down to the accommodation. Some good detail here. I do slightly worry about this very pale Alcantara. Obviously you can change that to whatever you want, but the thing about Alcantara is it always shows up every little brush mark on it. So you might spend your entire time just trying to brush that flat. Access to the electronics panel in there. Nice neat location, easy to get to. And then this is a kind of lobby area, but the first thing you notice is again just how bright it is. Because you're under the windscreen here, you've got all this natural light coming right down into the lower deck, It just feels wonderfully bright and open. Right, let's go and have a look at the main event first. This is, of course, the master suite, and we've got a door here. Now, there's something I wanted to show you here, actually. You'll notice that there is nothing protruding from that door, even though we're in the open position, and that's because it has a magnetic lock. So if I close that, suddenly a little thing pings out and holds it in place. And then once you open it, it stays in there. So there's nothing to catch your clothes. It's a tiny little detail, but I love the thinking behind it. So step down into the full beam owner's cabin. We've got a washer dryer, I think behind there. We have indeed. Neatly installed under the staircase. And then check this out. Absolutely enormous full beam master suite. Very low level bed, comes up to sort of just below knee height, but that really accentuates all the space above it. And there's good headroom here too. This has got to be at least 6 foot, sort of 4, I would say, probably maybe 6'5". Lovely LED detailing in the deck head above the bed. Lots of nice finishes going on here. Again, little recessed lighting behind there. Lots of detail, kind of herringbone grain of the wood in there. Big hull windows in the side. Although we've kind of seen the big hull windows in the master cabin, but wait until you go forward, because the size of the windows in the forward VIP are absolutely mind-blowing. Lovely little corner seat here. There's a vanity unit under there. I won't move it because you've got the coffee cups and things. We've got storage lockers behind the bed on both sides. Lots and lots of floor space. There's no real changes. There's just that one step down, but the rest of it is pretty much all the same level. Here you've got a full sideboard unit, but you could have a sofa, sort of chaise longue style effect there if you'd rather. More storage there, and a big old 50-inch TV on the bulkhead on that side. Check out the size of that window. Now that's a pretty damn big hull window. And then we have the ensuite bathroom in here. Look at that. Now that is a very big window in a bathroom. I'm not quite sure if they've got mirroring on the side of that window or you're just going to be so far out in the bay on your own it doesn't really matter, but quite cool to have a bathroom where you've got a glass window even in the shower itself. Now that is showering with a view. We've got mirrors on this side, bouncing the light around, but again, it's not just the view, it is all that natural light. Lots of lovely curves and details going on here. We've got an almost sort of egg-shaped sink here. We've got curve in the mounting for it. We've got the same sort of mix of real marble and sort of avonite type surface. Very nice and clean. Black shower furniture, looks very cool. Rain head shower over the top. And doors make sure all the water stays where it should do. And then moving forward through the boat, let's go and have a look at the VIP suite. Just worth noting that there is dayhead access to the ensuite bathroom for this VIP. So I'll show you that from inside the cabin. But check this out. Look how beautiful and light it is in here. Absolutely enormous hull windows right far forward. And this is where that hull flares out. So you can see the way it comes up from the waterline. So at that level down there, it's fully probably 2, almost 3 feet narrower than it is up here. So at the waterline, you've still got a nice sharp bow to cut through the waves, but up above it, you've got all this extra volume that creates an unbelievably big VIP cabin with so much natural light. Absolutely amazing. These are the overhead skylights that I showed you from on the foredeck. Again, just lets more light through. And of course, you have the emergency hatch. You always have to have an emergency hatch in this forward cabin so that if there's a fire aft, you can always get out through there. Here is the ensuite bathroom. And once again, full size window, the whole length of the bathroom. Absolutely amazing. Separate shower in here. Got more of that marble on this. And that is the dayhead's access that I showed you earlier. So guests can come and go through there without having to tramp through your cabin. Another one of those egg-shaped sinks. Lots of floor space. close that behind you, and then there is a vanity unit here. Lots of detailing there, little lockers to store your jewellery and watches and so on, and a lovely little swing out stool so you can pull that out and have somewhere to sit. More good detailing on this bed head here. Separate little panels, backlit, and then into the third guest cabin. And even here there is a massive hull window, so everywhere you go there's views, there's light, there's headroom. It's absolutely towering headroom in here. This looks like more like almost 7 feet in there. And these two relatively narrow single beds, but this one does slide across, so you can butt them up together and create a smaller double or a really comfortable single. But unusual to have a third cabin that has this much headroom, this much natural light, and such great views. We've got storage in here too. There we go. Right, let's come back up through the boat. There's still one section I want to show you, and that is the crew space and engine room. So if we drop down onto the platform, there is access to the engine room from a hatch in the cockpit, but there's also direct access through the crew cabin. So if we drop down into the crew cabin, here we go. Now it is a little bit busy in here because a lot of storage for the boat show is being used down here, so you can see various things stacked up, but there is a decent sized bed in there. There is a drawer fridge in there. We've got a little sink, almost a little mini galley area here, so you can conceivably spend a bit of time down here. You've got natural light coming in through that window there. You've got your own ensuite bathroom in here. Fairly basic, but don't forget this is a 56-foot boat. It's not a huge, big, crude boat, but it has meant you've got your own privacy, your own bathroom, your own space, your own natural light, your own access. You do have to share it with one quite useful piece of equipment, and that is the Seakeeper gyro, which tucks away in there. So that's what keeps the whole thing really stable, both at anchor and underway. That will stop the usual rock and roll that you get when you're moored up in an anchorage with a bit of a swell. That will kill it completely. And then access, there's a little microwave, so you really have got some galley facilities down here. And then watertight door going into the engine room. And here are the engines. We have a pair of Volvo Penta D13 900s. They're on straight shaft drives. You can just see the shaft poking out there. They should give a top speed of around about 32 knots, I believe. And I think it has 1,800 litres of diesel, which should give you a range of about 250 miles. We've got the generator here. We've got the hot water tank up there. Very neatly done. Batteries here. Obviously exhausts, water strainers, but well lit, easy to find everything. Got fuel filters on the side there, and very handy to have access direct through this door rather than having to drop down through a hatch. Right, there we go. That is the very latest Galeon 560 Flybridge. Let's have another look at that from the side. Admire just how clever and special it is and how much glass there is. I cannot believe how much glass there is in that structure. It really is more glazing than the average house, let alone a boat. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. Thank you very much for watching. Please do let me know what you make of the boat in the comments. I'd love to hear if you're as impressed by it as I am. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.